Trinidad under the sun so bright.
The Caribbean islands, where the sun shines brighter and the oil flows smoother. Trinidad and Tobago are not your average beach destinations. They're significant oil and gas producers, which means playtime comes with a side of economic strength and growth. And just think, if Trinidad were a superhero, it would definitely wear the bigger cape, as it's the larger and more populous of the two islands. Now, if you ever get tired of lounging on the beach, Trinidad has a little bit of everything. Imagine 3 majestic mountain ranges doing a conga line along with fertile valleys. Meanwhile, Tobago is over there, rugged as ever, flexing its hills and showcasing those breathtaking coastlines like a scenic Instagram influencer. Before the beach umbrellas and sunblock, the Arawaks and Caribs were the original islanders. They called Trinidad home way before colonization, and today their descendants are like the coolest blend at a family reunion. Most are mixed with other ethnic groups, proving that diversity is the spice of life, or at least of a good pot of soup. Speaking of diversity, let's talk about the population. Trinidad is a melting pot more enthusiastic than a toddler with a mixing bowl. With communities hailing from Spanish, French, Chinese, Syrian, and Lebanese backgrounds, it's a cultural quilt that warms the heart. And don't forget, when these groups intermarry, it's not just a wedding, it's like a fiesta of flavors, enhancing the tapestry of rich cultures. Now, let's sprinkle in some religion. Religion in Trinidad and Tobago is as diverse as a family buffet table during the holidays. You've got Roman Catholicism and Hinduism leading the pack, while Muslims, Anglicans, and others are hanging out, all showcasing the fascinating mix of cultural influences, like a potluck dinner where everyone brings their best dish. And let me tell you, when it comes to Trinidadian cuisine, you won't find just any old meal. It's a flavorful fiesta. Imagine African, Indian, Chinese, and European ingredients dancing together on your plate. One famous crowd pleaser is doubles, street food that's not just popular, it's practically a celebrity. You could say it's the doppelganger of tasty treats. But wait, there's more. Ever heard of sahina? It's a creamy dessert that's like a tropical hug for your taste buds, made from coconut milk and spices. This sweet treat often graces special occasions and holidays, sneaking in from Indian and Persian kitchens, just to remind you that every meal can be a celebration. And if you're feeling snacky, how about some fairy? Crunchy fritters that are basically tiny pockets of joy, served with chutney. Imagine seasoned batter filled with yummy goodies like yam and cassava, perfect for when your tummy is grumbling louder than your toddler after missing snack time. Now, let's dive into Trinidad's rich history, which is like a multi-chapter book filled with suspense. From indigenous peoples to European colonization and the dramatic transformation to a plantation economy, it's a historical roller coaster ride that has shaped the diverse culinary landscape and cultural practices, much like how family traditions are built over generations. Now, let's fast forward to the journey towards self-government. It all kicked off with the 1956 general election, like opening a box of family secrets. And just 2 years later, the West Indies Federation decided to bow out after a dramatic exit, paving the way for some lively discussions about independence. Post-independence? Oh, Trinidad and Tobago became like that kid who suddenly found their superpower. Their economy soared, mostly thanks to oil and gas, making up 40% of GDP and 80% of exports. It's like they discovered the treasure at the end of the rainbow. Liquefied natural gas, anyone? But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Trinidad and Tobago faces a few hiccups on this economic joyride, especially with those pesky fluctuating energy prices. Luckily for them, other sectors like manufacturing and services are like loyal sidekicks, coming to the rescue to help keep the economy on its feet. And speaking of celebrations, Carnival is the grand festival in Trinidad, where vibrant masquerade bands and electrifying music take center stage. This lively event has roots that reach back to African traditions and French Catholic influences during colonial times. Talk about a cultural mashup that would make any family reunion proud. As we dance through the festivities, let's not forget Ashura, the Islamic festival that commemorates the martyrdom of Hussein ibn Ali. It's a beautiful reminder of the strong Muslim influence in Trinidad brought by East Indian immigrants, a perfect blend of flavors and traditions. Lastly, who can resist the sparkle of Diwali, the Hindu festival of lights? It's a celebration of light triumphing over darkness, where Trinidad's Indo-Caribbean community shines the brightest with shared meals and joyous festivities. So, bring on the lights, because nothing brings a family together like a good old-fashioned festival. You know, when you step into this place, it's like getting a warm hug from a favorite aunt. The locals are so friendly and accommodating, you'd think they were giving out free samples of happiness. This friendly vibe makes it feel like tourists are just part of the family, ready to explore together, like a road trip with your relatives, minus the arguments about who gets to choose the music. But hold on to your hats, because navigating the city's traffic is like trying to dance in a marching band. It can be a bit chaotic and impacts how easily you can get around. Learning the local driving behaviors is like cracking the secret code to the city. And trust me, it's a wild mix of horns honking and people weaving through traffic like they're in an Olympic dodgeball game. As we wander, one of the landmarks that catches your eye is Independence Square North. This spot is a cultural and historical gem, like a big shiny trophy in the city's showcase. It proudly tells the story of Trinidad, reminding you that the past is always just a postcard away, waiting for you to appreciate its rich tales. Now, speaking of stories, the presence of churches sprinkled throughout the area adds a sprinkle of architectural charm. They stand as beautiful visual landmarks during your stroll, almost like friendly neighbors waving hello. These places of worship not only represent faith, but also deepen the history surrounding you, like a scenic hike through a living history book. But wait, there's more. In this eclectic melting pot, the narrator stumbles upon a language barrier, which is a bit like trying to play charades with your pet cat, frustrating but hilarious. This hints at the rich multicultural environment here, blending different backgrounds that truly enrich your travel experience. Who knew communication could be like a game of telephone gone very, very interesting? And if you're into shopping, who isn't? You'll find opportunities galore. It's like a treasure hunt for the best deals and unique finds, showcasing the commercial heartbeat of the area. Our narrator seems pretty familiar with the local streets, adding a touch of personal flair. It's as if they're giving you a personal tour, like that friend who always knows the shortcuts and the best snacks.
In Trinidad and Tobago, it's pure delight. Carnival time and the streets are wild. Costumes brighter than a summer child, dancing to soca till the break of dawn. Fiery energy that never feels gone. Trini jamming under the sun so bright.
About the Cathedral Church of the Holy Trinity. This stunning structure is not just a feast for the eyes. It's rich with historical and architectural intrigue. It's almost as if the building itself is whispering secrets of the past while you explore, adding some cultural depth to the trip that makes you feel pretty fancy. Of course, behind the camera, the speaker is battling the sun like a knight in shining armor, trying to avoid filming into the blinding light. There's a hilarious awareness about keeping the video quality looking sharp. It shows a real commitment to sharing their experiences in the best possible way. After all, nobody wants to watch something that looks like it was filmed during an eclipse. Welcome to the delightful park. It usually swings open its gates from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., which is the perfect window for you to plan your little adventure. Just a heads up, there's a security checkpoint at the entrance, so don't expect to sneak in with snacks hidden in your pockets. Oh, they have a nose for that. Now, driving is the way to go if you want to keep your energy intact. Walking all the way might feel more like a marathon than a casual stroll, but fear not, there's a lovely assortment of picnic points along the road, just waiting for you to set up your gourmet feast. Or, you know, that last slice of pizza from last night's dinner. As you cruise through, you'll discover some key vantage points. Think of them as Mother Nature's best selfies. These spots offer breathtaking views of the city, and park benches are conveniently placed for you to plop down and soak it all in. Perfect for soaking up the scenery or the leftover crumbs from your picnic. Now, brace yourself as you enter through the arched entrance leading to a kiddie wonderland. On your left, There's a play area that's safer than the living room chaos when the kids get a bit too creative. It's a perfect space for the little ones to run wild while